Good. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vase. Still growing the beard, even though it's hot as hell here in Aruba. Florida should be a little bit less hot in December. And then back in New York, where I'm going to be very thankful. I grew this because it's freaking freezing. I'll stay in New York a few days, and then I'm going to get going to Nevada, or on the way to Nevada. All right, what am I doing here? Okay, let me close this. Let me set this up. All right, not many announcements today, and maybe I'll do some tomorrow. Let's go to a screen share. Let's see what's going on. Let's do it. Zoom, share screen, here we go. As usual, we begin with an update on Unconfiscatable. The conference is going well. In a couple of days, I'll be in the US, and I will reach out to a bunch of more speakers, see if they've decided last minute to attend. Poker game, we're gonna get you an update on that. The carnivory dinner, the price was actually supposed to go up again. Like if you register, it should actually say 0.1. The next tier is 0.1. It's just that we unfortunately haven't changed the graphic yet. So when you register for it, you will see that the tickets are going fast. So we have to, prices go up with each ticket sold. This is actually, well, you see the registration, right? So the price has gone up to 0.10. We will change the graphic. Sorry about that. It's a manual change on the graphic. But that's the new price there, 0.10. And then for the last like 5 seats, we're gonna have to raise it again. Supply and demand is kind of how we are doing it. All right, 1 second. Okay, and all right, anyway, enough of that. Let's see how the workshops are doing. We got 17 seats left in Phoenix. Tampa is sold out. I got to double check if we can maybe squeeze one more person in, but I highly doubt it. And Vegas, the big one in Vegas. I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna actually, when I get back to the States for a few days, I'm gonna look into Patreon, and I'm gonna look to be doing private webinars on more in-depth education, and we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try to set up that infrastructure over the holidays. So, you know, no sleep, just work. Those interested in the indicator, just click the indicator button. And those that want to support my channel in some ways, please check out the affiliate links. All right, charts. Monthly chart. Monthly chart has not changed. The monthly chart remains in a very bearish structure. I'm not really looking at your live chat, guys. So putting questions in there is not really going to help. If it's a tipped question, maybe it'll catch my eye, but other than that, not really looking at questions. And it's too early for people in the US to help me out. So the monthly chart looks bad and looks very, like the monthly chart sits somewhere between bad and very bad. So nothing I can say. The monthly is at a brand new closing low. And the question is it this candle, the one we had back in October? Or is it this candle, the capitulation one? Now, see, because the big drop last month did not pull back up and never actually went down past never actually went down. Wait, did I lose audio there for a second? Okay. Because last month did not capitulate low enough into the 50-month moving average, and didn't touch it, didn't cross it. It makes me believe that this big down candle is not, and I repeat, not the equivalent of this big down candle, okay? So what does that mean? And you see how the following candle, the following month's candle, and the month is about halfway in now, right? What's today? Today is like the 10th or 11th or something. So we're very close to the half month. And the following candle is another big red candle. And it's not, the big down month is not being followed by a rebound month. That gives me the impression that we are not yet bottomed. And that means we're going lower. Now, the most optimal scenario, and this is going to sound very, very ugly right now, but the most optimal scenario is actually a few more candles of consolidation into the $3,000 area, like a few more months of consolidation. So we're talking, so if this is month number 5, let's try to stay above the 50-month moving average next month. That would be 6. Then stay above the 50-month moving average next month, which is 7. And then somehow stay above that moving average in March, but close March around 3150, right at the moving average. And then in April, have a gigantic drop down to approximately below $1,500 in early April. But by end of April, be back above the 50-month moving average, creating this giant hammer candle. And that would set you up for the ultimate bottom without too much damage of Bitcoin being below the the 50-month moving average area. And that would then set us up for a V-shaped bottom. And then we can be back to like $5,000 and above by end of year, and $20,000 and above by end of the following year, right? So back to 5,000 and above in 2019, and then above 20,000 by end of 2020, and that includes the halving. That is your the ultimate tradable scenario. But this is looking very bad, very bad. Weekly chart. Weekly chart looks outright ugly, okay? Weekly chart is completely bearish. You are on a week 5 of 9 to the downside. You have now lost half the value of this rebound shadow off the bottom, the rebound wick off the bottom. You are now once again at yearly closing weekly lows, which is very bearish. And because the 200-week moving average has already been support for Bitcoin once, because this is certainly within 1% of a support point, definitely within 1%. The moving average is at 3165 and the low was 3200, right? Definitely within 1%. And now we're closing at a new low. Like, this is terrible. And we're only on a 5 candle looking for the 9 candle. And the probability that there's not going to be a huge down week spiking you down is very low. So the same scenario that I just described for the monthly chart, I can describe for the weekly chart. We need a couple of more months of slow grind down. So let's hope next month doesn't wick you all the way down to below 3,000, and we fully stay above, next week, we fully stay above 3,200. And the following week, which will be week number 7 of a downtrend, will also kind of be a boring week, and it'll keep you above 3,200. And then we get into the 8 week and 9 week, and then these weeks would spike you down to just below 3,000, giving you that single, intra-week spike down to like 2,950, and then bounce back up to above 3,300 by end of January 7th, by end of the 9th week, right? So this is December 17th, it's 31st, the week of December 31st is 8. So by the end of January 14th, so by January 14th, you would have spiked down to below 3,000 intra-week, close the week above 3,300, and that can set you up for that ultimate dead cat bounce back to 5,000 or 6,000, and it would time that monthly scenario of staying above the 3,200 moving average, and kind of get you back into the pullback on a dead cat back into that 5,000 vicinity. But this is just wishful thinking, right? We can also go to 1,300 like by end of this year and kind of get stuck there, which would be bad. Okay, the indicator. This is the daily chart. The weekly chart looks outright ugly. Like there's like, it looks like there's no hope. Now the daily chart also looks outright ugly. This is really bad, guys. There's nothing I can say other than the charts look like a disaster. You now have a new daily low close, right? Assuming we close at this price in 12 hours. We still have 12 hours to go in this candle, but this candle is outright ugly. So the daily chart, you can see how bad the CMF is. The little divergence on the RSI, but nothing to write home about. And is my live chat moving? It is, I think. My sound is messed up again. What the fuck? What's going on with my sound? I sound better now? Sounds fine? All right, sounds fine. Okay, we're good. So let's keep going. The daily chart looks really, really bad. I have water this time. Okay, so the daily chart looks very bad. The daily chart got you to a 9, gave you a 1 to 4 candle dead cat bounce, and couldn't sustain. So when it couldn't sustain, you have two potential choices of when, like you can buy off the 9 on a daily scale. Gave you a rebound, 1 to 4 candles. Look, the high showed up. The high close and the intra rebound high both came within 4 candles of a 9 buy indication, which is textbook sequential system. Then you start to go back down. When do you enter the short trade? There's two options to enter the short trade. You can enter it on a red 2 going below a red 1 right here. I probably should have talked about this a few days ago. Right here at 4,300. If you're not comfortable with that, you can wait until you break the closing lows of the 9 candle along with new lows in the sequential system. So right here on a red 3 going below a red 2 or a red 4 going below a red 3, perfectly fine. Short entries or add to your current short position, okay? Now, I had said last video that I would not be going bullish in Bitcoin until after we crossed the green line at 3750, which we did not even come close to. We just had another 9. This is not as clean of a rebound 9 as the last one. Two things here. One of them is you have a light lime arrow versus a dark arrow. That's the difference between perfected and non-perfected. To learn more about perfected versus non-perfected, head on over to tonebase.com, go to learn trading. Got about 1,200 people on. Go to section 6. Open, I believe this one here is good. Time to market indicators, and also the Bloomberg Market Essentials is probably the best document to learn the indicator other than the book itself. I should probably put like an Amazon link to this book so I can get a little 5% rebate on that. So if you click on that one, it gives you a nice little document. Let's zoom this in a little bit. Oh, too much. Let's scroll down to the last page. And here it is, right? So you can learn about perfection versus just a buy signal. So there's a perfection buy and there's a buy. So this guy here is just a buy, not a perfected buy. So it's not as clean, not as good. So now what happened was I never trade, well, unless the 9 is a beautiful candle like this that actually gave you the ultimate low and gave you a reversal candle, I never trade the candle after the 9. The candle after this 9 is bearish. So this sets you up for a short play, but you really want to be patient and wait. If this candle closes lower than the prior candle's lows, the short play comes in. Tomorrow's candle trading lower than today's candle. However, that is going to be a 13 candle coming off something. If this is a red 1, that's a red 2. No, that's a red 2. That's on the countdown phase. That's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 6, that's a 7. That's gonna be an 8. So this 12 is not even coming from this 9. This 12 is coming from the prior 9. There it is. So this, I can do the math in my head. This 12 is coming from this 9. The next candle is going to be a 13 from that 9, but it will also be like an 8 candle or a 9 candle from this 9, which has its own 13 to get to. So this target is once again kind of on point. So the daily chart is looking very ugly and very bearish. You could be in short trades from these other countdown phases, and this is going to be another countdown phase going down. It's just too bad this wasn't the perfected 9. Anyway, that was probably a lot. 12-hour chart gave you a beautiful, back test off of these reversal candles. Like this is the kind of 9 you want to try to buy. But once again, the textbook sequential is, and people say Bitcoin can't be traded technically. Of course it can. Perfect textbook sequential. Your 9 gave you, there was a 9 aggressive 13 followed by a combo 13. 2 candles, 2 closes at the low, and then within 4 candles, 5th candle from the 9, but you did have like another buy indication here. So within 4 or 5 candles, this is the 12-hour chart, not a standard chart. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4th candle after this combo 13. I know it's 5 candles after the 9, but what's 1 candle between friends? You had your rebound back to the breakdown level, rejected. Now you're on a red 1 once again, or you just take this line, we drop it down. It's a different red line actually. This shouldn't be a red line. This should be a maybe a blue line or something, only because should be a blue line only because it's not a line to go short of, it's a back test line. But we can put in a line to short. Now, shorting right here, and we got another candle, and here it is. We have a red 2 going below a red 1, or about to go below a 1. We just flipped candles. Have a red 2 going below a red 1. You're still in the countdown phase. And this is looking pretty damn bearish, and just not looking good at all on the 12-hour chart. Hey, I got a $5 pound tip that I want to take a look at. Let's see what you have to say, Webzy. What do you make of respected BTC people like Trace Mayer and Max Kaiser speaking positively of Dash? Are some shitcoins better than others? Of course, some shitcoins are a lot better than others. Dash, however, is a shitcoin of a lot of shitcoins. So I don't know why they're talking positive. I mean, Max has been a little more, shitcoin friendly over the years than Trace. Trace has been more of a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't know. I guess from a investor perspective, there's money to be made in Dash. It's pretty marketable. They skim a lot of money. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. They skim a lot of money, so to make themselves very marketable. But fundamentally, Dash is pure garbage. So you can put your money in it if you like, but it's going to zero. Like, it's not going anywhere. So I don't know. I mean, Litecoin is significantly more honest. So Litecoin and Monero are probably two of the more honest coins. I don't consider them scammy. I just consider them stupid. Dash, I consider scammy, but I don't have to agree. Like Trace and Max, I mean, they have their own brains, right? They don't have to agree with what I have to say. I also think Ethereum is totally scammy, and I respect Andreas very much, and he has a book called Mastering Ethereum. So again, we disagree on that. So yeah, so the 12-hour chart is literally on a short play right now, but the daily chart is not yet, maybe 12 hours. But if it starts to go down really fast, I mean, that's we're below 33.50, which is probably where I said yesterday I would short this thing. So yeah, it's not looking good right now. I think we're gonna go to below 3,000, and we're gonna get that. I really should have updated my percentages, because at this point we are very likely to touch below 3K, and then I can readjust all of my percentages later on my usual tweets. All right, this video is going a little bit too long. Oh, the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour chart is on a 9. Same thing. This should not be a red. This could be a red line actually, because this is a shorting opportunity. Breaking that, we already back tested it. And now this is a 913. So on a 4-hour chart, this is looking like a beautiful rebound on a 4-hour chart. However, your 12-hour, your 1-hour is a little bit neutral with a bearish bias. Your 12-hour is bearish. Your 4-hour could give you a 1 to 4 candle correction. So the 4-hour is looking like it's a little bit oversold on a short-term basis. So what we would do is we would take the average of all these lows right there, and I think the 4-hour can be a 1 to 4 candle correction, just a little teeny bit of a correction, and then I'll break this line sometime on December 12th, and then accelerate down, timing you with the daily and stuff. So the 4-hour chart looks like a little bit good, and the 1-hour chart just looks terrible. Look how many hours in a row the setup trend line has been supporting the price, and then boom, red 2 below red 1, big drop down of about 100 points, maybe like 75 points, huge volume on the big drop. The drop closed at the bottom of the candle. This is very bearish. So the 5 a.m. New York candle, the East Coast candle, was very ugly. It was very terrible, and now it's not looking good either. You had a bit of a reversal candle, but it's not holding, even though the hour just started, so it looks terrible as well. The shorts are kind of staying kind of high. I don't know what that means. It's due for a short squeeze, but it doesn't really want to happen. Hey, we got a few other tips. I don't know if €2 or $2 is enough for me to stop and answer fundamental questions. How about Bitcoin SV? What about it? It's useless. Enter a short now on red 2, trading under a red 1. I don't have any accounts to trade, guys. You know my public issue. I'm too public. This is why I'm going to start a Patreon, because I have like I said, 50% of my income has disappeared, and I have to replace that somehow, or I'm just going to change professions again. So I gotta when I get back home, I gotta find a way to replace a significant portion of my income, because doing all these videos for free is fun, but I am looking to be compensated for the actual interaction. Otherwise, I could just trade in peace and only have a one-way communication channel.
This way I can't get distracted. So there's nothing I can say about Bitcoin SV that I haven't already said. I need to interview Craig Wright. I'm curious what's going on over there. Hey, Tone, please check the 3-day and the 4-day on Bitstamp. I don't really care about those charts, but maybe I'll take a look. The US indices are at early 2018 support. I know you are bullish on the US equities. However, is there any justification for the sell-off in your opinion? Yes, there is. We're about just leaving America. I'm working on that. First, I gotta, so in January, I'm actually gonna move. I'm gonna change my residency. I need to get out of New York. And then sometime next year, I am gonna see what I can do about other passports. However, it's too late. I don't have time. I don't like guys, BitMEX doesn't have 4 years for me to recreate the affiliate revenue from BitMEX because I don't think they'll be around in a year or two. I think regulators are gonna get them. We'll probably talk about that on my law channel. Yeah, I want to interview Craig Wright again. I had a good time on that interview. I want to see what the latest stats are. What do you think are the chances of Bitcoin dropping below 3K in Elliott Wave 3? I don't care for Elliott Wave. I mean, if I have a reasonable Elliott Wave expert on my channel, we can talk about that. All right. So before I go on to other markets, let's glance at the 3-day chart. I can use the daily chart and let's go to a 3-day chart. Oh wait, I can't do that. 3-day. So the 3-day chart is, I mean, the 3-day chart is on a 9, right? But there was no rebound off this 9. Look at the horrendous volume on a 3-day chart. Look at these monster volume spikes. This is bearish. And your 9, you now have a new 3-day low close. That's bearish. You never trade the candle following the 9 unless the 9 itself gives you some kind of strength. If this was a hammer candle, then sure, but it wasn't. So I would wait on a 3-day candle. I don't know if this is the first day or the 3rd day. So this was the 9th. Which was 2 days ago. So this is the third, I don't know. I don't want to do the math in my head. So it's too much. Counting, I can't count to 3. I can only count to 9. And so maybe the next candle will give you a new low. Okay. Someone says maybe travel less. Okay, so you guys, I don't think you guys understand what my job is. My job is to evangelize Bitcoin. I know you may disagree based on my price predictions. There's 2 things to my life right now, and social life doesn't look to be one of them. I should go off screen share for this for a second. Okay, let me go off screen share for a second. All right, what's going on with my camera? Something's wrong with my camera. Hold on. Wait. Man, this cheap webcam that I bought in Australia is not cooperating. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go off screen share for a second. I really wanted to keep these videos short, but this one is not looking like it. So, my job is to evangelize Bitcoin. My job is to speak at conferences. My job is to speak at meetups. My job is to get every Uber driver that knows how to speak English to follow my YouTube channel. That is my job. My job is to promote Bitcoin, and that's why I travel the world. That's my job. No one pays me to do this job. Contrary to the conspiracy theories, Blockstream does not pay me to shill their releases, okay? I have never been paid to speak at a conference. I've had my expenses covered occasionally. That is my job. My job is to do, the law show, the morning briefs, which we haven't done, the occasional interviews with people, being interviewed by people on other YouTube channels. And I don't get paid for that either. That is my job. No one pays me to do that job. The only reason why I do these price analysis and the only reason why I teach the workshops is to make money in order to continue doing my job, which doesn't actually pay me, right? So because I have expertise in trading and because I know I could make money trading, and I've replaced that income with educating people on trading. So don't confuse my knowledge and my skill set that I used to make money with what my actual job is. So my job is to evangelize Bitcoin, and it's more likely I would start like if I can't make enough revenue teaching how to trade, I will trade for that revenue, and either that would mean I would have to stop doing my job of evangelizing Bitcoin, or I would stop interacting with the public, still evangelize Bitcoin as a one-way communication channel. That means the live chat would be gone, all comments would be gone, and I may or may not delete my Twitter because it's distracting, and people will just have to go to my YouTube channel on their own without the tweet helping them, right? So, so those are the options here, okay? Those are the options. Okay, let's get back to screen share, though there's nothing really else left. 3-day chart, let me get out of the 3-day chart. Back to 1 day. Okay, so nothing. Well, actually, that one was something, but the hourly chart is looking very bad. Like everything is pointing to lower prices except the 4-hour chart. We have to wait for GBTC to open, but it's not going to look good. It doesn't look good at all. Ethereum is still $88 too high. We'll wait. The S&P futures are looking very great. That is a beautiful hammer reversal candle. Those that have attended my workshop here in Aruba, and thank you for that, by the way, you had, and I spent a lot of time on reversal candles. Here is your buying off of a reversal candle. Unfortunately, the TD did not line up to give you the perfect trade. This was a very scary candle. Could have gotten a lot of people into the short trade expecting a catastrophe. Now, here's what we need. We must, okay, so the S&P futures, and this is important. Man, this video is running long. I started to enjoy the short videos myself, actually. The S&P futures are in a channel. Here's your channel. I don't know why I draw channels in pink, but that's what we have. Okay. There's your channel. Okay. Not exactly horizontal. I'm cheating a little. Horizontal-ish. Anyway, it's horizontal enough. It's horizontal enough for me. And we really needed to break the upper side of the channel. Like, if this gives you a clear lower high, we can actually put a middle line in here. There it is. Man, I want that upper line. Visibility alert. No, I don't want to do an alert. How do I make it a horizontal channel? I can't. Okay. Maybe I can use the shift button. Okay, good. And now I can drag the whole thing, maybe. Yes. Horizontal channel. Okay, I'm going to cheat a different way. Boom. Nice thick line. Those that attended my workshops know why I just did that. And this one is touching the maximum number of candles without, can't draw my line any thicker, damn it. All right, that's good enough, right? Touching that low through the wick, touching that low, not anywhere, nowhere, right at the body, touching those wicks, beautiful. If we get rejected by the middle line and start to go down, S&P is screwed, royally screwed. If we can break this middle line and get back to the top, then probably go back down to 27.25 and then break out, right? So this is a big drop followed by a horizontal channel. This has a bearish posture. It is more likely to break down for 3 reasons. One reason is we made the channel in a downward direction. The second reason, we are near the lows of the year. These are 2 reasons why we're going to go down. And a third reason is people are very, very jittery, which is maybe even, actually that one might be a bullish sign. So 2 reasons. So I am being naively hopeful that Bitcoin can get back to the top of the channel, pull back, make a higher swing low, and break out. So I think we're good on the S&P back to 2,700, and then we will reevaluate what's going on. But right now I'm leaning bullish the rest of the week for the S&P, but this is going to be very critical, very critical. I wouldn't call myself an S&P 500 bull right now. I would call myself naively over hopeful on the S&P right now. And the daily doesn't look as interesting as the futures are. No, sorry, as the weekly. The weekly doesn't look as interesting as the daily futures, and the daily looks very similar to the S&P futures, very similar. I could have drawn the same thing on the daily. It's just that the chart's cluttered. All right, that's it for me, guys. I'm not going to look at other stuff today because the video has gone on a little too long. And if I'm going to cut the screen share. If I see an interesting tipped question, maybe I'll entertain it. But other than that, I'm going to try to go back to the beach and enjoy and not cry over what I said about Bitcoin. So check out the beginning of this video. And I didn't go back to my conference, but please check out Unconfiscatable. We are closing out with 1,500 viewers. And Carnivory Dinner is now 0.1, even though the graphic still says 0.7. When you register, it will charge you 0.1. And thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. And I will see you all on the next one.